Hello and welcome to the Sunday Monthly Scoop. We've been super busy, and so we missed last month's scoop, and we've got a lot to catch you up on. First, we've been getting ready for Catalyst Fund 10. This is the first time we're participating in Catalyst, and we have 7 proposals that we think would be really impactful for the Cardano community. In a moment, Dan will talk through those 7 proposals and how we narrowed down a large field of ideas to those 7 in particular. We also launched a new yield farming program. I'll give a short demo of this, explain how it works and what you need to know as an end user, and show you how you can get involved. Next, we've been participating in Cardano Governance. I hosted a workshop here in New York about SIP 1694, and then I went and attended the IOG workshop in Edinburgh, where we synthesized all of the feedback from dozens of workshops across the world. I'll talk a little bit about what that experience was like. And finally, many in our community are new and don't remember all the way back to when we selected our scoopers. For those who don't know, we selected 30 scoopers by hosting an on-chain community vote that any ADA holder could participate in. These are all prominent members in the community who run stake pools and contribute to the community in dramatic ways. And so we're going to be doing a series of videos that let some of those scoopers introduce themselves to you. Some of the names may be very familiar, others you may be meeting for the first time. So we're excited to show you that. So let's dive into it.
If you've been keeping track of Project Catalyst, you've probably noticed that Sundae Swap has several proposals in Fund 10's Catalyst cohort. We narrowed down the 7 proposals that we submitted through our internal process where we vet new ideas, new product concepts, and problems that we see out in the ecosystem and kind of rigorously dig into why those things deserve to be worked on in substitution for anything else that we could be spending our time on. So after we went through this process, we kind of settled on these 7 proposals, and they kind of break down into 3 different categories. The first category is really just infrastructure and R&D work, right? So this is where you'll see some of our proposals around Hydra, specifically the Hydra transaction stream plugin, and also the Hydra ledger-only mode. Now, we took a hard look at Hydra, as you probably saw in our demo that we did last year, and we've been working on it since, but we've outlined a few problems that not only our team were experiencing, but also that we assume that other teams are having, and actually some of the folks that we talked to in the ecosystem have been experiencing these problems. So these 2 proposals are really aimed to help the larger community adapt Hydra in a much larger way to really just help foster the growth of Hydra as its own protocol, and also to improve the scale and speed of how the Cardano network works. Beyond that, we have some new product concepts. The most exciting is probably the automated price discovery. So if you've ever been a part of a token launch and you've been, you've experienced the whole pump and dump and you feel like you've been burned in some of that initial token offering and the behind the scenes stuff that happens, this is a product that's meant to really help alleviate some of that and to kind of act as a shock absorber to a lot of that early price activity that happens with any token launch. So this is a really exciting one that we're super excited about. On a much smaller scale, we've actually released the very beta version of our sorbet debugger, which is essentially just a wallet impersonator, for lack of a better term. It allows you to plug in an address into a debugger, which is a Chrome plugin, and see the user's activity through their eyes and the funds that they have in their wallet to really help gain perspective into maybe what's happening with them in terms of a support ticket, which is how we originally used it. But as you can imagine, there are lots of other use cases for a tool like this as well. So that's pretty exciting. And then finally, the last new product that we submitted as one of our proposals is Atala Prism powered DID governance. And this is really just to extend the existing capabilities of our governance system, which is in use by several Cardano projects, as well as our own Sundae Swap DEX. And we feel that bringing DID capability to this really helps move governance and kind of take it a step forward into the future. So we're really excited about that one too. Finally, we just have some basic ecosystem support proposals out there in terms of upgrading our Sundae Swap DEX contracts to Aiken. We've seen internally huge speed improvements. Pi has talked in several external interviews and forums about that, so go check those out if you haven't seen them. And then finally, also, we're asking for funding for a security audit for the new version of our contracts. So we have a Plutus V2 version of our contracts coming in addition to the Aiken. If we end up getting one of these two proposals approved, then we will basically take the funding from that and kind of combine them together so that we get the Aiken proposals approved. So that's it for our Catalyst proposals for Fund 10. If you have any questions for our team, hit us up on Discord and our public Discord channel. We're happy to talk about those. Or if you'd like any of our team members to join a Twitter space, we're happy to talk about these and debate whether or not they should be funded. So look out for those when Catalyst voting starts, and thanks for all your support.
Next, let's talk about our new yield farming program. This program was designed in collaboration with the community and then voted on through our governance system. There's three main activities to think about with our new yield farming system. First, Sundae token holders can lock up their Sundae and use that as voting power to decide which pools receive rewards. So for example, I may lock up my Sundae and vote that the ADA Mint LP token holders should receive 70% of the daily emissions, the ADA Rberry holders should receive 20%, and ADA S-Berry should receive 10%. Collectively, everybody can vote, and they may vote differently. And the idea here is that the Sundae token holders are voting to strategically attract liquidity. So each Sundae token holder is voting on which pools they think are most advantageous for the DEX to attract liquidity to support the trading volume that the ecosystem needs. So collectively, let's say that the vote breaks down in this way, in this example. We then take the top 80th percentile of pools to earn rewards. And this is to filter out kind of the long tail end and keep those rewards attractive for and concentrated within those most highly delegated pools. What the 80th percentile means is basically we sort them from most to least, and we keep taking pools until we reach a cumulative percentage greater than 80. So in this example, we would take ADA Mint because it has 70%. That's still below 80, so we would take another pool, ADA Rberry, and that cumulatively represents 90% of the delegation, and so we would stop there. Next, liquidity providers can lock up their LP tokens for these pools. You can lock up any LP token at any time, just in case it might receive rewards from one day to the next, and you can unlock at any time with no penalty. Right now, with the system that the DAO has voted on, there's no penalty for unlocking. So for example, I may lock up 10K ADA worth of ADA Mint, 11K worth of ADA Rberry, and 12K worth of ADA S-Berry. We then distribute a daily emission of Sundae tokens to these liquidity providers, and they earn those rewards. So in this example, I may have earned, and I earn those rewards in proportion to how much I lock up from that pool. In this example, maybe I earned 200K from the ADA Mint pool and 100K Sundae from the ADA S-Berry pool, or ADA Rberry pool. Now, in practice, that's then split among everybody who voted. So these pools would earn those amounts, and then I would earn a portion of that. Right now, the daily emission is 444,115 Sundae per day. This was chosen by the DAO by a governance vote as it expends 75% of the treasury over the next 4 years. There is then, every 90 days, a governance vote to adjust that emission either up or down, depending on what the DAO thinks is needed by the tokenomics. So now let's get into a demo of how that would look in the UI. So I've connected a wallet here in the preview environment. I have some ADA Rberry and some ADA Indie tokens. Let's see how I can use these to participate in yield farming on the preview environment. First, I'm going to come to this yield farming tab, which shows up once I've connected my wallet. Now, I'll add a disclaimer here that we're currently reworking how this UI works to make it a little bit more intuitive, but the basic ideas should still be the same. So the first thing I need to do is create a position. This is where I lock up any tokens that I want to lock up. So this may be, in this example, Rberry, which is our voting token, but it may also be some LP tokens. So I'll just start with Rberry. So I'm going to go ahead and update my position, and this is going to lock up that 100 Rberry, and it pays this into a smart contract that you have complete control over. You can reclaim your tokens from this contract at any point in time. Once that transaction settles on chain, you can see that I now have some Rberry locked. This token is the voting token on preview. Then I can go ahead and create a delegation. We have multiple different programs running, so this may give you some idea of how the yield farming may evolve in the future. But I'm going to go ahead and use some of my Rberry voting weight. I'm going to vote for the ADA T-Indy pool. And I'm going to give it 100% of my delegation. I also went in and filled in these other ones, although they won't be relevant for the demo today. Again, once that transaction settles on chain, you'll now see both your position, which is all of your locked tokens, and your delegation, which is what you are voting for. In this case, I am voting with 100 Rberry for the ADA T-Indy pool. But I want to earn rewards as well. And so I have some ADA T-Indy tokens. So I'm going to go ahead and update my position and add those tokens. Finally, now that I have these LP tokens, they will, in theory, provided this pool is earning rewards, start earning daily rewards. You can see which pools are earning rewards, either while adding your position or over on the Pools tab. Now, this is preview, so these numbers are going to be a little bit wonky, but you can see that there are different delegations that are earning different amounts of rewards. Now let me switch to a wallet that has already earned some rewards. Over here, you see that I've earned some rewards from the yield farming programs that I'm participating in. At any time, I can go ahead and claim those rewards, and it will build a transaction that pays those rewards to my wallet. There's no transaction fee for this, except for the Cardano transaction fee, and unlocking your LP tokens doesn't forfeit these rewards like it did in yield farming v1. So hopefully that makes it a little bit clearer for how to get started with yield farming and how yield farming is intended to work. Just keep in mind that this UI might change as we incorporate feedback from the community. Another thing we've been really busy with is getting involved in Cardano Governance. Cardano is currently working towards a Voltaire era, where decisions about how to upgrade the software and how to spend the treasury are made via an on-chain vote. This is outlined in SIP 1694 if you haven't heard of it before. I personally hosted a workshop here in New York where attendees and I discussed how we might measure success, how we might measure whether we are capturing the will of the people or whether we're making good, effective decisions or the toxicity of the community. We had t-shirts made. I went ahead and changed my shirt, and it was really a lot of fun. You can find a video recap of that in the description. I also flew out to Edinburgh, where IOG and the Cardano Foundation and Emergo hosted a very large workshop with 70 or more people there. And what we did there was we synthesized a lot of the feedback and input from all of these workshops across the world into kind of one big workshop. So there was lots of opportunities for people to summarize their workshops and discuss difficult and challenging topics related to SIP 1694 and on-chain governance. We also saw a great demo of the new version of the Cardano node that'll be used for these governance actions. And we saw research out of the University of Edinburgh related to the Edinburgh Decentralization Index, which is an academic initiative to measure and quantify how decentralized different projects are. Overall, it was really a blast to get to meet and interact with so many people from the Cardano community, both here in New York and in Edinburgh. And it makes me really, really excited for the future of Cardano. Sundae Labs has also been invited as a founding member of Intersect, which is a members-based organization. What that means is a bunch of companies and foundations and nonprofits and individuals come together to form a meta organization where we can collaborate on and drive forward the Cardano ecosystem. Charles has talked a lot about this as the MBO, though, in reality, there's no reason there can't be multiple members-based organizations. This is just kind of one of the first to materialize and is drawing a lot of really impressive players and participants. And so we're really honored to be invited to join as a founding member of the Intersect MBO. Finally, it's been nearly 2 years since we had a large on-chain vote to select the initial set of scoopers. These are the SPOs that run core infrastructure that keeps the Sundae protocol running and batches orders against the liquidity pools so that you can have the user experience that you do on Sundae. Sometimes they fade a little bit into the background and, Sundae Labs takes up a lot of room, but really these SPOs, these scoopers, are the heroes that keep the Sundae protocol running behind the scenes. So we thought it would be great, especially given a lot of the discussion around batchers and how centralized or decentralized these models are, to introduce you to some of these 30 different scoopers, put a face to a name for who's running the protocol. So we asked some of the scoopers to record videos, and this is kind of the first batch of those, and we may release other videos with introducing other scoopers in the near future. So enjoy a quick word from a few of our scoopers.
皆さんこんにちは。 X ステークプールの BTBF です。私は2020年7月にステークプールオペレーターを始めました。現在は日本人の SPO コミュニティの運営、各種プロジェクトの日本語翻訳を担当していまして、日本コミュニティで活動しています。ありがとうございました。
Hi guys, my name is Patrick. I'm an SPO since the mainnet launch with the SDI pool. We are from stakeit.io. We, that's a developer and an operator engineer. We run our own server on different cloud providers, none of the big ones. We prefer smaller ones, so we are not related on them. We support Cardano and Sundae swap proudly as a scooper and as an SPO. And well, let's have some ice cream now.
Hi, this is Eric from Azure Ada Stake Pools. Azure Ada Pools are high-performance stake pools that consistently rank among the top-performing stake pools, as well as one of the top-performing scoopers. We achieve this performance through our philosophy of using top-tier Microsoft Azure infrastructure and providing a high pledge to maximize block production and ultimately earnings for our customers. We've been very active in the scooper community, and we regularly collaborate with the SundaeSwap team and other scoopers on how to increase the performance and security of SundaeSwap and how to improve it as a product. We're also very active in the Cardano community, helping to grow and mentor new stake pool operators, building tools, and developing best practices for stake pool operators. We've been around since the incentivized testnet and from day one on mainnet. Two of our popular tools are the Epoch Calendar and WhenAda.com. Our Epoch Calendar is actually the top search result when searching for Cardano Epoch Calendar. It shows when each epoch starts and ends, as well as which epoch is paid at the epoch boundary. WhenAda.com lets you enter your wallet staking address and find out exactly what day you will get your first ADA stake rewards. It also shows you past rewards history and other details about your wallet. We're super excited to be SundaeSwap scoopers and about SundaeSwap in general, and we're dedicated to doing our part to make it awesome for you, the SundaeSwap user. Feel free to check out our pools and learn about our team at azureada.com.
Good day everyone, Homer J here, one half of the AAA stake pool and a SundaeSwap scooper. Going to keep it short and sweet. We've been around since the early incentivized testnet days, are approaching 7,000 mainnet blocks produced, have relays on 4 continents, and are running Cardano software on 4 test networks. We value transparency and decentralization and are also active contributors to the Guild Operator Tools and Koyos Elastic API service on Cardano. Thank you Sundae Swap for trusting us with their scoops. We're happy to be a valuable part of the D in the DEX. Find us on Twitter, hop into our Telegram channel for a chat, and have a great day everyone.
Well, that's it for this month. Some really exciting stuff in there. We hope you enjoyed. We'll be back next month as Catalyst voting starts, and we hope to be able to show you some of what we've been working on towards those Catalyst proposals. Until then, bye.